Joins us courtside now. Aaron, we talked yesterday about, a concern of St. Louis just kind of mucking things up, and it looked like they were able to accomplish that for about 30 minutes. They had the lead and really took you guys out of sync today.
They completely took us out of sync. Yeah, I thought game plan wise, I think they made us do some different things. We talked to our players about, we can go through a myriad of things of what they could do, but they're going to do something different that maybe they haven't done. They're going to do something different to get us on our heels a little bit, and we got to be able to play through that, and you got to be able just to play off of each other and make shots. And we didn't really do that very well tonight, but I thought just you kept having to find a way, right? And I think we got it to 5 right before the half, and then we missed some free throws, missed some layups, and then obviously a foul there at the end. So I think they got up to 7, came out with some energy, and think, hey, you're going to right the ship a little bit, and then we just still didn't make shots. And sometimes you have to have those. We haven't had a game like that for a while where we just couldn't make shots and had to come from behind. And as we kept telling them, guys, this is not going to be the last time we have to play with a deficit. So we got to be comfortable with it. There's a balance between the urgency and panic, and we got to keep living in that a little bit. And I thought we did that. We had a couple big moments. I thought Faith was really good. I think Maggie calmed down, had 10 big moments. Really everybody. And I just thought it's senior day, and you kind of had some seniors step up, and it's a huge win for us, obviously. But obviously we know we got to get better.
Yeah, I think we made a comment earlier. If you're going to be a first place team and a top seed, you're going to have to find days where you don't play your best basketball, and you're going to have to come away with wins, and this kind of exemplifies that today.
To a T, right? And, I think you think back to last year, we had that George Mason game late that kind of we had to reset ourselves and kind of refound ourselves, and then we played really well after that. I don't want to say fortune, but we played well at the end. We're going to have some games like this. It's probably not going to be the same path of how last season went. And, you have to be taught lessons. Sometimes when you lose a game, those lessons are really driven home. I think we can learn some lessons today, both from players, from staff, from kind of how we manage some things right there to give ourselves a better chance. Today will make us better. We know that, and we just got to take that lesson and move on from it.
Now, defensively, they did a really good job of controlling Maggie. As you know, Maggie's been able to usually get to the basket at will throughout the season. What did they do different to really kind of just, maybe put a clamp a little bit on Maggie in this one?
Well, Kennedy Calhoun's a fantastic defender. She's been doing that for a long time. Sometimes it's bothering your point guard and making her uncomfortable. Today, they bothered our post players, and it's something different, so, maybe we were a little bit slow to adjust. Maybe we didn't take advantage of some things. I thought the biggest thing for them is they really just came out with a lot of energy from the first 30 seconds, right? There's a media timeout 29 seconds into the game, and you don't normally have a timeout that early, but I think that was one that's like, hey, guys, that was one possession, but we've got to make sure that we are not on our heels. And I don't know that we ever fix that truly for the longevity of the game, at least not from that moment. We kind of had to regroup a little bit at halftime, and then I think the 2-minute mark of the third quarter, I think it took that long to get to the media timeout, and just said, yo, man, like the first 28 minutes was the first 28 minutes. Nothing that happens from here on out has to be dictated by what happened the first 28. And for them getting a 11-point lead, and then for us to win double digits, I think that says a lot. And like I said, there's some lessons before that we can learn from.
How much of this felt like a tournament game?
Yeah, I mean, they're all big, right? Like, I think that's part of it. You have the emotion from senior day today. You have some emotion and some I don't say stress, but just the urgency sometimes can turn into just not playing poised. And we maybe had some moments today. So I think we can learn from how we handled some of the things today, so that can be taught in the tournament. But everybody's been talking for 72 hours about how great the game was on Thursday. How much of the magnitude of that win. You realize that they're all big at this point. They all count the same. There's no double wins in the standings. Obviously when you're thinking tiebreakers, there's a little bit of that. But, you win the one Thursday and drop the one today, that still looks the same in the standings. And like I said, lesson learned. We got to have a sense of urgency. We got to be better, and I know this group will.
You still have some games left, but today was senior day, and you get 6 people that you honored before the game. Just kind of, as a group, individually, you can speak to some of those. Some of them have been here a long time. Some of them have only been here this year, but they've certainly added a lot to your program.
Well, don't know if I'm ready to wax nostalgic quite yet. I mean, there was definitely some emotion. I told myself there's no way there's going to be emotion here. We got a month plus left, so there was not going to be that. And each one of those walk through, and all of a sudden you're thinking of recruiting stories and thinking of like, oh my God, what if she weren't here? We would not be in this position. And, you know, I think a kudos to those guys and what they've done. They've all had different journeys to get here. You know, a huge shout out to their parents. They're just such special kids, right? All of our players, but, you know, those 6 are just amazing young women that just the easiest to give references for and easiest to think happy thoughts about. But then to our staff as well. You know, I remember that first meeting after the tournament last year. I remember saying, hey, these next 2 or 3 weeks of the of the portal and everything else is really going to dictate what happens for us next season. We had some core returners, but we needed help. And kudos to our staff. You know, you look at what we brought in. I think they all fit fantastically. You know, we've been fortunate that we haven't had a whole lot with injuries, but I think we have some depth there that we, you know, sometimes even haven't had to use. But, you know, Anna came up huge the other night, and then tonight. You know, Steph's had some moments and will continue to have some moments. I thought Allie J was great tonight. Faith was great tonight. Sweeney played fantastic Thursday. I don't even know that she didn't play great today. That's just some of it, you know, with the matchup, but I thought Faith did a good job. So for our staff to give us those options and to have those tools in the toolbox, I think that's really what's put us where we are right now with that group.
All right, good luck against George Washington on Wednesday night. Congratulations on this one.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Right, that's Spiders head coach Aaron Russell as Richmond comes away with a victory, and they raise their record now to 13-1 in Atlantic 10 play. 22-5. It's had a tough, hard-fought game today. How did you manage to work your way through that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't come out super strong. We honestly were kind of flat the majority of the game, and you're going to have those days. And I thought that we really just regrouped, came together, and were able to pick it up, especially the last 10-minute stretch. So that was definitely a good win for us.
How much was it St. Louis, and how much was it maybe you guys just being out of sync a little bit today, or did they play a part in that?
Yeah, I mean, credit to them. They came out, they were chirping, even in warm-ups. They came high energy. They knew that this was a big game for them. And we knew that going in, but honestly, they showed up and we didn't. We were back on our heels, so we just need to regroup. I think at halftime we really talked about just playing together, slowing down. We're going to be okay. We know that we're going to score, we're going to get our stops, and then obviously we were able to finish it. And you're going to have those days where you're going to have to grind it out, and we had one of those today.
Yeah, your 2 threes obviously huge there at the start of the fourth quarter. Just take us through those, you know, being able to knock those down.
Yeah,
it's been a tough shooting day for you guys from 3 here.
Yeah, we've had a couple rough shooting games, but just keep shooting. Obviously, a lot of we were missing bunnies. We were missing easy shots that we know that we're going to make. So just keeping shooting. We knew that we had to get some up there. Eventually they're going to fall, and those just happened to tie the game and help us get some momentum going into that last quarter.
So what do you feel like they did defensively to really kind of, you know, maybe change your momentum throughout this game? What did they do defensively that kind of just may have messed with your flow a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, they honestly just came out with such high energy. They knew that this was a game that they needed, especially going into the tournament. So they were just super physical, super aggressive. They started switching some stuff up with us, and we just really weren't reading it. Like I said, we just needed to slow down, regroup, play our game, and then eventually that turned around for us, and we were able to come out with a win.
Did this feel like a tournament game to you?
Yeah.
I mean, we were a couple weeks away from the tournament, but did this feel like a tournament game?
Honestly, yeah, especially with the volume of the crowd. We know that in the tournament, it's about who's going to show up that day, and we didn't show up at the beginning, and that's what the tournament's going to be like. You have one game, and if you lose, you're done. So this honestly was good preparation to know, like, we need to wake up, we need to come out stronger, and we can't do that come first week in March.
All right, congratulations. We'll look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.